And I'm Dan.
And we're here to talk about the effect of taking music classes on math GPA.
Studies have shown that taking music classes improves an overall GPA. But what about just for math? Are math students music students? Well, we're going to find out.
Music teachers across the country have insisted that taking their classes increases your math grade, but we're here to dispute these findings. So how do we choose our sample? Easy. We got a list of every single math class in the school. We numbered every single person in those math classes from 1 to 965. That's a lot of students. So how do we choose each student randomly? We only need 30 or 40 students. We're not doing the whole population. Well, that's easy. We use something called random integer. It's on the calculator.
Just go to Math, Probability, Random Integer. We'll do numbers 1 through 965 by ones. And each time you hit enter, you get different numbers, and these are the different people that we assign.
After we assigned people, we made surveys. We put sticky notes on each survey denoting which math class the person is, their name, and the teacher from which we came, aka Mr. Moody. This way, the surveys can get mailed back to us. How we designed the survey. Question number 1, male, female, grade, that's the obvious one. Then we had GPA and grades. We have phase, grade, and class. In the end, we ended up not using any of the classes except for math and second math, if chosen. Our 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th questions were our first idea. We wanted to see if learning English as your second or third language affected your grade. However, due to small sample size, we did not get enough responses that were foreign. Therefore, we used our other idea, our backup idea. Are we currently involved in music class? What class? For how many years? Any extracurricular programs? Which program? How many years? Then, for ships and giggles, we asked if they know somebody named David Philstein. This person clearly did. Did they enjoy taking the survey? Surprisingly, they don't know. Another example of a survey. Male wasn't such a good taker. We had to throw this survey out. All AC classes, F's and D's. What was your first language? Swahilian? What was your parents' first language? Japanese? I don't think so.
Because of surveys like this, we only ended up with 30 surveys. There was a couple people that didn't look at the back of the survey, and a couple people that did just not a very good job taking the survey. So, yeah, 30 was our sample size.
Let's analyze our data. This is a side-by-side histogram comparing Avon High School students' math GPA to whether or not the student is enrolled in a music program. Here we have GPA values and number of students on the Y value. It's a pretty big spread. We've got minimum of 1.5, maximum of 4.99. It seems that most of the values seem to be clustered in between 2.5 and 4.5.
The green values are the students not enrolled in music, and the purple are enrolled in music. So clearly, the students that are enrolled in music tend to be a little bit lower, which is surprising. For our side-by-side histogram, we calculated the mean and the minimum maximums quartiles. For students enrolled in music, the mean was a 3.235 GPA with a minimum of 1.67 and max 4.67. With a medium very close to the mean, and a sample size of 10. For students not enrolled in music, the mean was 3.313, just a slightly higher than with music, with a little bit less of a range. And the median was also very close to the mean.
So, in conclusion, students enrolled in music have a slightly higher GPA than students not enrolled in music. Now let's analyze how many years of music a person has done to their GPA. Let's go. we have the graph, the nearly non-existent correlation between weighted math GPA and number of years enrolled in a music program. As you can see, most people have either 0 years in music or 6 years in music, with a few in between. We've got a really big spread. Our equation is negative 0.0164x plus 3.3154. What does that mean? That means that starting at 3.3154 GPA, for every year a person takes music, they lose 0.0164 GPA. That's incredible. Nobody expected this. I guess our music teachers lied to us after all. However, our R squared is only 0.0028. I don't think this data is credible.
2-sample t-test. This was our first test we decided to do, and we tested this on the histogram data with the means that we calculated with the histogram. All the assumptions were met. There was 2 random samples, which was our students enrolled and not enrolled. We had unknown standard deviation, and both were approximately normal distributed, as we showed earlier. The samples are also independent of each other. For our null hypothesis, we had that the mean of the music enrolled students would be equal to the mean of the students without music. And our alternative was that the music students would have higher GPAs than non-music students. Here's our test, right here. And when you do it out, you get a t statistic of negative 0.231, degrees of freedom 14.89, and your p-value of only 0.59.
So, in conclusion, there's a 59% chance that the means are, in fact, equal. Our second test was a linear regression t-test. Here, we're testing to see if there is a slope in our data. For our null hypothesis, there is no slope, b equals 0. For our alternative hypothesis, there is a slope, b does not equal 0. We assume our assumptions have been met. For our test, we get t equals negative 0.284, and our p-value is 0.7794. What does that mean? It means that there is a 78% chance that the data we got is mere coincidence, and that there is, in fact, no slope. What does this mean? Our data is insignificant, and we fail to reject the null hypothesis.
So, in conclusion, both of our tests proved inconclusive, no good correlation between variables, and basically, GPA and music students don't go together.
Our pitfalls section. Originally, our idea was to compare the foreignness of students, whether or not they spoke English as a first language, and whether or not their parents spoke English as a first language, and their GPA. Unfortunately, there are very few foreign people in Avon High School, and we only got several responses in our surveys that are foreign. Therefore, we set up a backup system where we discussed music and math GPA. This was very successful. However, we still had a minute sample size of only 30. We sent out 40 samples, but only 30 of them were valid, as some people did not take the survey seriously, or did not see the back of the survey, which discussed math and music in great length. So, to sum everything up, taking music classes does not help your math GPA.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Dan.
And this is the end.
See ya.
Bye.